Varka does not prove predestination, and I think we as a community are fundamentally misunderstanding what fate actually is in Teyvat. When Varka looked into Barbalot's scryglass and saw the fate awaiting him, many people took this as confirmation that everything in Genshin is pre-written, and the second that he defied fate, it was already accounted for. That there was ever only one real fate, but nothing in the lore supports this rigid single-script universe. But throughout Genshin, fate behaves less like a prophecy and more like a prediction. The Heavenly Principles created the firmament, the false sky, where fate is written in the stars. Irminsul contains all memories, all history, and all lives within Teyvat. But here is the most important connection. The stars are described as the fruit of Irminsul. So if Irminsul stores total historical data, and the stars are encoding that knowledge, then fate is literally written in the stars because it's calculated input. We've already seen this in game with the world formula several times over. Conria had early versions of it, Rene used this version to create his one where he calculated Fontaine's collapse, and then Sadrone used this research to determine Columbina's return. These aren't mystical visions, these aren't all rigid structures, these are predictive systems. This is where Honkai Star Rail comes in. It mirrors Genshin perfectly. Noose, the Aeon of Erudition, constantly calculates the face of the universe, but Noose does not enforce a single outcome. It generates extrapolations, branching possibilities, each representing the most likely turning points based on available data. The future isn't fixed, it's statistically modeled. The more the past is known, the easier the future is to calculate, and we get an even clearer version of this through Yao Guang. She divines Pearl's fortune and explains how she does it. She's using predictive algorithms. The result isn't a guaranteed destiny, it's the most probable outcome. If Pearl acts with sincerity, she will have abundance. If she doesn't, she risks another undetermined fate. So when Varka saw his fate, he likely saw the most probable outcome based on the choices that he had made. When he chose differently, the system was forced to recalculate, just as any predictive model would. This also explains why Archons and Descenders can change fate more easily. A villager who's from Liyue has such limited influence and fewer branching paths, but Archons, world-shaping beings with godlike powers, and the Traveler, who isn't recorded in Irminsul, they have a lot of options at their availability. They are unstable variables, incomplete data, noise within the system, and predictive systems struggle with incomplete data. Instead of micromanaging reality, the Heavenly Principles established rules, then can calculate the outcomes, and then intervene only when probabilities exceed thresholds. This is how they control fate.